Guys, today I'm going to show you a super simple way to run the new DeepSeek modules locally on your computer. If you haven't heard about DeepSeek, it's everywhere right now, and I'm just going to show you a quick and fast way to get it up and running on your own hardware privately and securely. If that sounds like something that you want to do, you're in the right place. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, so I've put together this Google Doc of the things that we need to install and the process we're going to go through to get this all set up. So it's broken down into a few different steps. So what I've done is I've completely deleted all of the apps that I had previously that were related to this. I did have Docker, I did have Olama installed. I believe I had DeepSeek set up in there somewhere, and probably OpenWeb, at some point. But I've gone ahead and I've removed everything. If I go ahead and search for Docker, nothing's gonna pop up. If I do, Olama, I'm just gonna show you guys essentially step by step how to do this, so that you don't feel lost at all. So the first thing that we need to do is install Docker Desktop, okay? And so if I come down to these links, I just have my links here. I'm just gonna go to this link, https://docker.com, get started, and then we're just gonna go ahead and install Docker. Okay, so I'm going to click this download Docker desktop. By the way, this link is up here at the top right. You can also get this Google Doc for free in the description. But I'm just going to download for Windows AMD 64. Depending on your operating system, you'll want to download whichever one is relevant to you. But I'm just going to go ahead and download this one. I'm just going to download the executable for me to be able to actually install Docker Desktop locally. Okay, it looks like that installed successfully. So what I'm going to do is open up my File Explorer and then come on over to Downloads, and then I'll just go ahead and open up this installer executable. I'll go ahead and accept all of the prompts. It's going to go ahead and verify the package. I'm not going to add a shortcut. It's going to go ahead and unpack everything, get everything set up for us as, a usual Windows install. Okay, so after a few minutes, you're going to get this installation succeeded page. I'll just go ahead and click on Close. And I'm going to actually close the Docker website because we've got everything we need from there. So if I just go ahead and search for Docker Desktop, let's see if it's successfully installed. I'm going to go ahead and accept the service agreement. I will just do a Google account here. Log in with my Google. Open Docker Desktop. And I'll just go ahead and skip this, and then we should be good to go. So you can see it's completely free. There's nothing else that we have to do now. We have Docker Desktop successfully installed. Okay, so that's actually step one done. So this next step is actually a bit easier, and that is to install Olama and DeepSeek. I'm combining the two into one because as soon as we install Olama, we can install DeepSeek, but it's technically two different steps. So to install Olama, I'll just go ahead and head over to olama.ai, or olama.com, sorry. And this is where we can install different Olama modules as well as the Olama software, okay? So to actually run any of these modules, we need to download Olama as a whole. So I'm just going to click on this download button. You literally can't miss it. So it should auto-detect your operating system. If it doesn't, just go ahead and select whichever one of these you need to. As you can see, if you were on Linux, you would want to paste this into the terminal, and Mac, you'd want to download for Mac. I'm on Windows, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on download for Windows. This is also going to give me an installer I'm then going to run. Okay, so it's completely done downloading. I'm going to go ahead and open this executable. I'll go ahead and click on install, and it's going to go ahead and install Olama. As you can see, please wait while setup installs Olama on your computer. So I'm just going to skip forward while this installs. Okay, and it looks like it is done installing as the window has disappeared. So if I come down here to the bottom right, you can see this little Olama logo running, and you can see it's actually running because we have the option to quit Olama, okay? So that's good. That means our step 2 is done. So I'm just going to go ahead and close olama.com, sorry, not the actual app. And we've actually just completed step 1 and 2, easy like that, okay? So the third step is to install DeepSeek, and I shouldn't have closed Olama, the website. So I'm just going to go back to Olama. Sorry about that. So back to olama.com, and we can actually find modules in here. As you can see, if I open search, there's tons of them. The first one is actually DeepSeek. but there's a ton of these different models that we can use. And the way we're actually going to download these is via the Olama app that we just downloaded, and a bit of a uh, with terminal commands, but it's extremely easy now that we have the app. So we have tons and tons of different modules, but obviously the one that we care about is DeepSeek. So you can just search for it. It should be the first one that pops up, but if not, then just search DeepSeek, and we'll just go to DeepSeek R1. Again, there's tons of them. And so for me, I do have a 4070 Super GPU. Essentially, you do not want to get one of these gigantic models, not on consumer hardware, probably ever, like the 404 gigabyte one. So I'm just going to stick with the 7B parameters model. And the way that we can specify these different ones is just with a colon and then the number and then a B. So if you can run something higher than this, then by all means go ahead. But for me, 7B is plenty and it will run fine. So the way we're actually going to install this is with this little command, okay? So we can just go ahead and copy this. And if this is the first one you select when you come to the page, it won't actually have this colon 7B, okay? Because I think by default it installs the 7B one. So how do we actually install this? Well, I'm just going to open up Windows and then type CMD, okay? Or command prompt, all right? And this is the Windows terminal. The way we're going to install this is, I'll just type it out for you guys, is Olama run DeepSeek -R1 colon 7B. Now you could just type that in, but essentially what this is doing is it's going to try and run this module, and then it's going to say, hey, we don't actually have the module, so let's just download it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and press enter. And you can see pulling manifest, and it's actually going to download this model. And if we come over to here, you can see the 7B is 4.7 gigabytes. And you can see we are downloading a file that is 4.7 gigabytes. Okay, guys, so now that DeepSeek has finished downloading, we can actually chat back and forth with the LLM, but this isn't necessarily the kind of functionality that we want to do after spending, 5 to 10 minutes trying to set it all up. We want to be able to upload files and access it from a better UI. So, we could just say, hey, or hey, what's up? And it would chat back and forth with us relatively quickly, depending on your hardware specs and everything. But we're going to go ahead and set up a platform or a service called Open Web UI, which is going to give us that ChatGPT looking interface for us to interact with the AI. So I'll go ahead and close out this terminal. And that is step 3 done with DeepSeek. So now we just need to set up Open Web UI. So if I come down here to the links, again, this Google Doc will be down in the description at the Gumroad link. So I'm just going to go to this link, docs.openwebui.com. Go and copy and paste this. And you can see quick start with Docker. So if Olama is already on your computer, which it is, if you follow the steps, you will already have Olama up and running. So all we need to do is just copy and paste one of these two commands. So essentially, you just use this command, and you'll usually know if you have an NVIDIA GPU. If you do not know, just come down here to Task Manager, and then come over to Performance, down to GPU, and it will say NVIDIA or GeForce or RTX, something NVIDIA, and you will know if you have an NVIDIA GPU, okay? So I do personally, I have a 4070 Super, I'm an ex-gamer, I bought a lot of computer hardware for that stuff, but a lot of people do not, so just use this command if you don't have an NVIDIA GPU. If you do have an NVIDIA GPU, use this one, okay? So I'll go ahead and copy this one. Again, just use the one that is correct for your computer. And then I'll open up another command prompt, so CMD, enter, and I'll go ahead and paste this in, and I'll hit enter. Okay, and so what this is actually done is if I come down here to the bottom right, this little arrow, this shows us our running apps, and I come over to Docker Desktop. You can see that we have this container called Open Web UI, and it's actually accessible at this port, localhost 3000. Now we could tell that already if I come down here in the documentation. After installation, you can access Open Web UI at HTTP localhost port 3000. So this is just hosting our AI and in an interface that we can interact with easily. So this is just the starting page before you've actually logged in. So I'll go ahead and click on Get Started, and I'll just enter some information. Name, I'll say it's Paul, not PP. Email, vipx@gmail.com. And then I'll just enter a password for it. I don't think this is saved any. Yeah, OpenWeb UI does not make any external connections, and your data stays secure on your local hosted server. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create this admin account. Okay. And I'm not gonna save this. I'll just say, okay, let's go. And if you followed all the steps correctly, you'll actually have this DeepSeek R1 latest module up here. Okay, so you'll be able to actually access the module now. You'll be able to upload files. You can apparently call it. That's interesting. You can record your voice. You can have multiple chats. Okay, so over here we could say, "Hey, hello." Um, break down the difference between McLaren and Lambos. Okay, so this is one chat we could have. It's going to be thinking about it, and then it's actually going to get back to us. Okay, so McLaren versus Lamborghini. It's now breaking down the differences and everything, the technology, product range, and everything. But I can actually open up a new chat, okay? And I'll just say, give me 5 Lego ideas. And it's going to think about this. So, we have all of this good stuff. And then if I come back to here, it's still thinking about our other conversation. Okay, I hear 5 creative Lego, building ideas. So I believe we can have as many of these chats as we want open, which is super, super sick. But we can also upload files. So if I click on this plus button, we can capture or we can upload files. So I'll just go ahead and click on upload files. And so this untitled.txt is actually a project I'm working with for a client. Some, connecting 2 different businesses with sales systems. So I'm just going to say extract 2 of the company names from this document. Okay. And so this does have a list of a ton of text that I just web scraped from a website, and it has I believe 100 plus different ones, different companies, but you can see dots and tots and notion of W extracted using context. Yep. Okay. So cool. It can analyze these files. You can upload pictures and everything. And what's also super cool is if I come over to Olama, and I search for modules, we have a ton of different ones we can mess with. And if we install these, okay, like Quinn 2.5 is a good one. I may actually have that on here. No, I don't right now. But what you can do is for all these different modules, it's the same process to install them, okay? So if you wanted to install Lava, I guess, it would just be the same command. So depending on the size, remember, you'll just want to select this, copy it. You'd want to come into the terminal, paste it, hit enter, probably refresh this, and then up here you'd have another module you can play with. You could download as many of these as you want to play around with. So that's super sick as well. Guys, I hope you found today's video useful. If you did, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe, as it really helps my channel. The Google Doc with all of the links and websites and platforms that we used in today's video will be down for free in the description. Besides that, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and peace out.